If you've been telling yourself that I'm going to be consistent today, I'm actually going to post videos today, I'm going to go live today, but each day that goes by, a client calls, you get busy, and you just don't do it, chances are it's because you just don't know what to post and you don't know what to say in your videos to get people to follow you and buy from you. In this live video today, I'm going to be sharing with you 31 content ideas for the month of May so that you no longer have to think about it because I'm just going to give it all away to you. So as you're coming in today, be sure to double tap the screen as well as share this video out with your audience so that more people are coming in. The more that you engage on this live, the more TikTok will push it out, Instagram will push it out, and LinkedIn and YouTube will push it out as well, right? So again, we're covering 31 content ideas for the month of May, especially if you're a business owner. And what you do on social media is you post content so that you can attract people to your page and then convert them into customers. But right now, no matter what you're posting, no matter what you're doing, it feels super frustrating because the people aren't engaging with your content. When you do get comments, the comments are from your friend, or your mama or your spouse. And you're like, man, how can I reach more people? I'm going to share with you today 31 content ideas so that you can reach more people, but not just reach them, be able to attract them and then convert them into customers. So thank you all for joining us today. Hey, Kwanda, how you doing, honey? Thank you all for coming in. If you are a business owner, drop the name of your business in the chat so I can go ahead and shout you out, right? I like doing this part of my live where I get to shout you out because you never know who's tuning in right now who needs your services. You never know who's tuning in, who desires what it is that you have that you're selling. But guess what? They don't know you yet. So how can we shift that? It's so crazy. I feel like I can't really see. I'm typically wearing glasses, but I'm wearing contacts today, and it feels like my vision is blurry. It's the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, can I actually see you all? But I can see you all. I just don't know why my vision's a little blurry. Hey Danielle, how you doing? Right? Okay. So this live is for the coach where you're already at six figures. You already have a following, whether your following is on Instagram, your following is on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, you even have an email subscriber list. However, when you're asking for the sale, one, you feel icky and you don't want to sound salesy. And so people aren't converting as much. So I want to show you how you can be able to sell to your audience and they actually buy from you. This live is also for the ambitious business owner where you're capped between 8 to 10K months. So you've already gotten some success in your business, but you have built your business on word of mouth and referrals, right? So right now, maybe you do a lot of your networking offline. Right now, you do a lot of your partnerships and you get a lot of your sales offline, but you want to come online now, right? So that you are actually increasing your revenue and increasing your leads. That's exactly what this live is going to do. We're going to talk about that. So how you can get help with doing that. Yeah, Danielle, I know. Danielle says, you have people who are stealing your content and identity. I report them. Thank you so much, Danielle. And that's for all of you who are in here. You recognize that Bella Love is representing my face and my content. Just report them. Unfortunately, TikTok and Instagram, they don't do anything about people who are imitating you, which is really frustrating. So many people have been telling me, and they have been reporting those pages, and TikTok does nothing about it. So it's like actually really annoying. Right? Exactly. Kwanda's like, Bella tried it. She sure did try it. She didn't even change her screen name. That's the crazy thing. Like, she has my face, she has my name, but then when it comes to her username, she didn't even change it. Like, Bella, you got to do better. You got to do better. Right? So again, today we're talking about 31 content ideas for May. If you are a business owner, this live is going to benefit you because I show you how you can use Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube as your free marketing tool. What do I mean by that? I mean that you don't have to pay for ads. You actually don't have to pay for anything. The only thing that you're paying is your time. You're investing your time into creating content that's going to actually attract your dream clients. I have done this, and because I've done this, not having to pay for ads at all, I've built a six-figure business, and we're scaling continuously just from the content that we're putting out on social media. So I want to be able to show you how you can do that as well, so that now when you're putting out content, not only are you reaching your dream clients, but you're making an impact. How many of you in here, you want to make an impact, right? Just drop a me in the chat. You want to make an impact with the content that you're putting out, right? If that's you, just drop a me in the chat so I know that I'm not the only one. And it's okay. I could talk to myself too, but I really prefer to talk to people who are talking back to me. So if you're in here, you want to make an impact, drop a me in the chat. And I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how you can have 31 content ideas for May, right? And all you got to do is, as I'm sharing the tips, take note, take action, make some money, honey. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. We're going to be together today for about an hour, and I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems that's going to bless your business, because when you are a blessing, then you can bless other people. And that's what it is that they desire. Hey, Tanika, how you doing? Yeah, Tanika says, me, I want to make an impact. All right, so I want to share this quick story with you, and then I'm going to jump into these tips, right? Of course, I should introduce myself. I'm Shamar Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help you make my goal is to help 6 and 7 figure business owners create binge-worthy videos in order for you to get seen, get paid, and live free. What do I mean by this? There are a lot of you here where you have a calling on your life. You should be on bigger stages. You should be on high-profile podcasts. You should be invited to conferences, but not enough people are seeing you yet, so you're not getting the invitation yet. My goal is to help you do that. That's the power of social media. You grow your following, you grow your influence, and now you start to grow your income because more people are reaching out to you and get paid. Some of you in here, you should be getting paid more than that you're getting paid now. Like, you should be already making 50K months, and you're not sure how you can do that. And so I show you how you can do that with content, just by attracting your dream clients, just by increasing your influence, because the more people know about you, the more money you're going to get paid. This is a belief that I teach all of my clients. I even believe it myself. And so I want you to get this in your soul, get it in your bones. When people see me, they pay me. Come on now. When people see me, they pay me. That is a true thing. If you want to get paid more people need to see you. And the best and fastest way to do that is with social media. So I want to share this quick story, right, on what happened to me when I started creating content on social media. Back in 2022, I was going live. I was going live 2 times a week, 1 hour at a time. And I did this for 6 whole months before I sold my first 5K offer. 6 months, okay? How many of you would have quit in the first month? How many of you would have quit in month number 2? How many of you would have quit in month number 4? So this is me for 6 months. I'm live, and I'm only live on TikTok. So at this point, I wasn't going live on Instagram. I wasn't going live on LinkedIn, and I wasn't going live on YouTube, right? So I'm only live on TikTok for 6 whole months. And guess what? For 6 months, I'm just perfecting my craft. What am I doing? I'm understanding, how do I engage with my audience? How do I get them to talk back to me? How do I motivate them? How do I address mindsets so that they actually want to buy? In month 4, one of my coaches told me, girl, you should give up. You should give up, because it's going to be really hard to get people from watching you on a live video to paying you $5,000. How many of you would have given up? How many of you already gave up? You said, I'm going to do live for 30 days. And you started it, and on day 10, because people weren't showing up, you gave up. How many of you already gave up? I know you don't want to tell yourself. You don't want to tell yourself. But that was me. Here I am, month 4, and my coach is telling me, just, you should change what you're doing, right? Because people aren't going to buy. But I kept going. I said, okay, I'm going to do it one more time. I went live in month 5, right? Let me tell you, I'm doing it now 2 times a week, every week, right? So it's not like I was going live once a month. This is 2 times a week, every week. So I'm doing at least, hey, Luana, honey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, no, I just saw you on Saturday, right? So that means I'm going live at least 8 times a month. At least 8 times a month, I'm going live, and no one's buying. So it's not even that people weren't buying the low offer. I mean, nobody was buying. So 8 times a month, nobody was buying. How many of you would have been like, oh no, this is not for me. Social media is not working, right? I see some of you doing that now. Some of you business owners, you're like, I've been doing social media for years, and it just doesn't work for me. And it's not that social media doesn't work for you. It's just that you haven't sowed enough seeds yet for it to, for you to be able to reap that harvest. And so I kept going, right? I kept going. Month number 6, I go live again. And guess what? Somebody says to me, hey, I want to work with you. And I'm like, what? Yeah, I was just as shocked as you. I'm like, what? You want to work with me? I've been doing this for 6 months. At this point, I'm just accustomed to talking now. But she's like, I want to work with you. And guess what? Can somebody write in the chat? It only takes 1. Just write that in the chat. It only takes 1, right? Sometimes we're in a season where it feels like a famine and you're not getting the sales that you desire. You only have your former clients. That's it. Things aren't coming in yet, right? That's the season that I was in 2022. The sales weren't coming in yet, but I kept on going. Thank you. Thank you all for writing that in the chat. Budget Breakdown says we have to keep on going. That's what it is. I kept on going, but it only took one yes. It only took one yes. She said, yes, I want to work with you. That was December 2022. And she invested in my program. Guess what happened after that? After that, I booked another 6K client for my live video. After that, I started filling up my challenge. It only took one, but guess what? That one, it broke something. It unlocked something. It released the harvest, the 6 months of sowing, the 6 months of seeding, the 6 months of nurturing. It finally came harvest season. And guess what I learned? I learned that social media is the easiest way to create a scalable, predictable pipeline for sales. Come on, somebody. It is the easiest way to create a scalable, predictable pipeline for sales. Why? Because after the 6 months of learning, growing, understanding my audience, nurturing my audience, knowing what to say that's going to move them, that's going to get them to buy, it unlocks something where one person bought, and after that, the rain came. And so many people kept buying after that. I was able to build my business to 6 figures. We made $117,000 that year. That's amazing. And that's just from live videos, reels, and TikToks. I wasn't even going live on TikTok yet. On Instagram yet. I was only going live on one platform. And I said, wow, this really worked. So my question to you is, what is your scalable, predictable pipeline for sales? Or are you bringing in 10K one month, 5K the next month, 2K the next month? It can feel very erratic. Someone just wrote in the chat, what was it? Budget Breakdown says being an entrepreneur is lonely because we are sometimes the only ones that can see the vision, right? But that's why sometimes we need a community, because although we're the only ones who can see the vision, when you're in community with people who are like-minded with you, then you all are working towards a vision that God gave you, and you get to pour into one another. Hey, Sharik, thank you so much for joining us. Yep, Sharik says marketing burnout is real when you're running the whole show. This sounds like a lifesaver. Absolutely, right? So what is your scalable, predictable pipeline for sales? Or are your sales up and down? What is it that you can do or shift in your business so that it can become predictable? In 2023 and in 2024, what happened after I kept going live and serving my audience, and I understood this is what gets them to buy, this is what gets them to follow, this is what engages them, I started to predict that I will make 10K months. And guess what happened? I started making 10K months, not because I was reaching hundreds of thousands of people. There are some of you in here where you think you got to have hundreds of thousands of followers to sell. I have 28,000 now, but back in 2022, when I got the 5K, I think I was, when I got the 5K client, I think I was only at 10,000 followers, right? On Instagram, I was only at probably 5,000 followers. So you don't need a lot of followers, but what you do need is a loyal and buying audience. How many of you in here, you have a loyal and buying audience? Drop a me in the chat if that's you. If you don't have one yet, drop a not yet. Drop a not yet. So if you have a loyal and buying audience, drop a me in the chat. If you don't have one yet, just drop a not yet in the chat. Hey, Valerie, honey, how you doing? Right? Because that's our goal. Our goal, okay, so I see a couple of not yets. So we want to shift that, right? Yes, Valerie says me, right? We want to shift that. For those of you who said not yet, that's what you want to shift, because it is your audience that's going to invest in you. Now, some of you, you're posting the content, but you're not asking for the sale. And because you're not asking for the sale, you don't know if your audience wants to buy from you yet. So I want you to imagine this. Imagine being able to post video content and your dream customers coming to you from all over the world after watching your videos, not just through referrals, not just through word of mouth, but now you have an additional lead source for your business. Imagine that. What would that do for your business? Oh, Luana said, it's my fault. I need to be consistent. Come on, honey. Let's get into that. Vernon says, not yet. What would that do for your business if you were able to unlock a lead flow and a revenue flow And this is an additional flow. So in addition to word of mouth, in addition to referrals, because there are some of you where you're just starting out and that's okay. But there are some of you where you've been running your business for the last 20 years and you haven't used social media. You haven't used digital marketing. And now you want to move online because you recognize the power of digital marketing, but there is some fear there because this is new territory for you. You're like, I'm so accustomed to getting sales through one-on-one. I'm so accustomed to getting sales through feeling out the room, right? But then when you get online, when you get on camera and you're trying to get the sales, it feels different because it feels like you're talking to yourself. And it's like, well, how am I able to move them from watching my videos to buying from me? Right? If you have all of these questions in your mind, I want to show you how we can alleviate that by inviting you to join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. Hey, Mara, honey, how you doing? In the challenge, we show you how to take what you're doing offline in your business and bring it online in your business. Right? What do I mean by that? We're showing you how to use marketing with social media, how to post the videos that's actually going to create deep connections with your audience. And now you don't have to worry about how do I feel out the room in order for me to sell to them. You don't have to worry about that because we're going to show you what to say in your videos to get your audience to buy because they want to buy from you and nobody else. When I was going live for those 6 months and people weren't buying, I should say 5 months, and people weren't buying, it was because I had to get better at what I do. And there are some of you on here now, you're starting, you're stopping, you're starting, you're stopping, you're starting, you're stopping, and you're not getting better at what you do so that people can see you as the expert. Offline, you're wonderful, you're powerful, your audience knows you, and it's great. But online, when you show up in your videos, it's not translating. So in the challenge, we show you how to translate your online, your expertise in your videos so that now you're reaching a larger audience. The only difference between being online with your business and being offline is the amount of people that you're reaching. That's the only difference. So all we're going to do in the challenge is show you how to transfer your skills. You already know how to sell. You already know how to do marketing. Well, some of you offline, your marketing is just word of mouth and referrals. We want to show you now how you can market to your audience, to the masses. Hey, Keisha, honey, I was talking about you yesterday on my live. How you doing? Thank you so much. Right? So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I desire, that's what I need, click the first link in my bio. Join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. In the challenge, we get to show you how to create content that sells, how to create deep connections with your audience on camera, and how you can get over feeling awkward being on video. There are some of you, the reason why you're not going live is because you feel awkward being on video. And then when you're live, you're like, what if no one shows up and I'm talking to myself? So what? I talk to myself quite often, not in a crazy way, right? I got to empower myself. I got to motivate myself. When I go live, sometimes people don't join. And I'm talking to myself and it feels awkward at first. But at the end of the day, I think about this. Write this. I want you to drop this word in the chat. At the end of the day, if no one shows up, here's what I think about. Replay. Drop replay in the chat. Because sometimes they won't show up live, but they'll show up after you're done. Yesterday, I went live and I thought my live was amazing, right? But on YouTube, we probably had 1 or 2 people on the chat, on the live. But after the live was done, there was actually someone commenting on the live, and I realized she was watching the replay. Thank you, Keisha. She was watching the replay. So some of you, you're not going live because you're like, man, no one's showing up right now, but people are showing up for the replay. Yes, Keisha said you got to join the challenge. Keisha was our one of our first VIP members. We launched our challenge February 2023, and she was one of our first VIP members. And here's the thing, Keisha is amazing. She has a business offline. I don't know if you still have your Subway business, Keisha. Do you still have it? Right. So Keisha, she has her Subway business offline. That's when she came to work with us. But she wanted to know, what can I do? Oh, she sold it. Congratulations. Congratulations. So in 2023, she was thinking, I want to shift to being online, right? So what can I do to shift to being online? There you go. And so she joined the challenge and we showed her how she can create the content that speaks to her audience. She sold her offline business now. So we're congratulating her. And now she's doing digital marketing full time. And I know that she's flourishing. I know that she's flourishing, right? Hey, Chanel, honey, how you doing? So if you're like, that's what I want to know how I can make the transition. Even if you don't want to sell your business, you don't have to sell your business, but it's transitioning from being offline to being online, right? So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I need, click the first link in my bio. Become a VIP member today so we can show you how you can use your skills in order to reach your audience because they're waiting for you. Yes, Keisha said, I'm so grateful for you in the challenge. She's like, sign up, sign up. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I need. I need to make this transition. Especially, hey Yvette, how you doing, honey? Especially because some of you are hearing these quotes, right? I don't have the exact numbers, but the online education world, right? So e-courses, digital programs, that industry has grown so significantly. I think right now it's worth billions of dollars, and in a couple of years it'll be worth trillions of dollars. And so a lot of you are hearing that and you're recognizing, wait a second, I need to get in now. You want to get in right now. You don't want to wait till later, right? And here's why. Yep, by 20 in 2 years, Keisha just wrote it in the chat. In 2 years, the online education business will be worth trillions of dollars just in 2 years, right? So you want to be an early adopter. Here's why. Y'all remember when Instagram first came out back in 2010? Who remembers that? I know some of you were like really, really young. I know I'm older than a lot of you on here, right? So back in my day, when Instagram first came out, we used to make fun of the people who were just taking photos of their life, posting their food, posting their family. We used to make fun of them, like, man, they don't got no life. And today, they are known as influencers making millions of dollars online. Influencer marketing has really disrupted the marketing industry, right? And those are people who got in early. And there are some of you where you were like, man, God was telling me that I should have did that back in 2010, but because you were depressed, because you were afraid, because you didn't know where it was going to lead you, you didn't do it. And here you are again. You have another opportunity to shift to online. Now, here's what I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you to give up on your business. You really shouldn't. All I'm saying is if you have a desire, bring it online so that you can reach more people. I have reached more people putting out videos and going live than I ever did if I had to go door to door. And I promise you, I never went door to door, right? So that's the goal. The goal is to be able to shift, reach a larger audience so that now you can bring in more money into your business and make a bigger impact. So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I want to do, but I want someone to hold my hand through this. I need some help because the fear of like, what do I do? How do I get started? This is new territory for me. That fear is holding you back. It's hindering you from being consistent. It's hindering you from consistently showing up for your audience. We want to show you how you can shift out of that when you join the challenge. All right. All right. So we're going to go into these 3 tips. I'm going to give you 31 content ideas for the month of May, but I'm going to do it by giving you these 3 tips that's going to help you, right? So once you understand these, then you can be able to honestly drop it into ChatGPT and it'll give you your content, right? All right. So here's the first thing. Marketing is the lifeline of your business. Marketing is the lifeline of your business. There is no business out there that is thriving without marketing. How do I know this? Well, let's just do a quick poll real quick, right? I'm going to ask you questions, and all you got to do is drop a yes in the chat if you've ever heard of this business, right? So I'm just going to ask you questions and drop a yes in the chat if you ever heard of this business. Have you ever heard of Nike? Drop a yes in the chat if you've ever heard of Nike before. Have you ever heard of Nike? Drop a yes in the chat if you've ever heard of Nike before. Hey, Israel, how you doing? Right? So I'll give it some time because I know it takes time for it to show up. But drop a yes in the chat if you ever heard of Nike before. Right? There we go. Okay, I see some yeses that are coming in. Awesome. All right. Drop a yes in the chat if you ever heard of Forever 21. If you ever heard of Forever 21, drop a yes in the chat. Right? Okay. See some more yeses coming in. Awesome. Awesome. And then final question. Have you ever heard of Gatorade? Drop a yes in the chat if you ever heard of Gatorade, right? Yep. I see some more yeses coming in. Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. The reason why you've heard of all of these brands before is because of their marketing. And some of us, we think to ourselves, I can never be an Apple. But Apple started out just like your business. It started out as a thought, and then it launched, and it kept on launching, and then it focused on its customer, and now it is what it is today. Your business can be very powerful if you focus on your marketing. But if you do not focus on your marketing, guess what? People will not know about you. And I know there's a lot of you here, you did not start your business to be the side hustle, to be the side chick to your 9 to 5. I know you did not. I know I did it. I mean, I don't have a 9 to 5, right? But that's not why you started it. You started it to make an impact. You started it to build generational wealth. You started it to leave a financial legacy. So my question to you is, why aren't you focusing on your marketing? Why are you letting it fall to the wayside? Why are you focusing on other things other than, okay, let me actually show up online? Some of it could be because of fear. Some of it could be because of imposter syndrome. What if I'm not able to deliver? The only thing is, you've been delivering all this time. This is not your first time getting a sale. You've been getting sales all this time. This is now an opportunity to be able to reach people on a larger scale. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you can reach thousands of people in 30 seconds. You create a 30-second video and you can reach thousands of people when you hit post. But you're playing small when you tell yourself, digital marketing is not for me. I feel awkward being on camera. It's okay. I feel awkward too. Just this morning, I was like, I don't really feel like going live. I feel like honestly, I just felt like getting some bubble tea. I have been in a bubble tea season where I'm just like, I need to get bubble tea every single day. It's kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to go get me some bubble tea today. Right? But when you focus on your marketing, the possibility of being able to grow. I have a former client right now. I talk about her all the time, right? She's one of our star students. But when she first started working with us, she was only at 474 followers on TikTok. And what she wanted to do, her goal was just to get to 1,000 so that she can go live. That was her goal. Fast forward to today, she's at over 40,000 followers on TikTok. And whenever she posts, she grows her email list, she gets leads, and she gets sales. How many of you want to be able to create a brand like that? That whenever you post, people are like, how can I buy from you? As opposed to, this is so inspiring. How many of you want to be able to get testimonials online that's like, if it wasn't for you, my life wouldn't be changed. That's what happened to Christina. She sent me a photo a couple of months ago and she was like, look at this. People were sliding in her DM saying, thank you so much. You completely changed my life. Right? How many of you want to be able to do that? If you're nodding along because you can't text in the chat because you're in the middle of something, I totally understand. But if you're nodding along, I want to show you how you can do that. Right? So I'm going to give you 31 content ideas for the month of May. But here's the thing. I'm not going to be like day 1, do this, not day 2, do that. That's what the content calendar is for, right? And we have a content calendar. You get access to it by clicking the 4th link in my bio. It says Instagram and TikTok resources. If you click that, you can download our content calendar. Or if you join our challenge, you can get the content calendar for free, right? So I want to share with you 3 types of content you can create in May. And when you're doing this, once you take the notes, just take this information, drop it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will do the rest. Or if you like using Claude, you can do Claude too, right? So 3 types of content. The first one is clarity content. The second one is community building content. And the third one is content that sells. So one more time, 3 types of content: clarity content, community building content, and then content that sells. Those are the 3 types of content we're going to break down today. And I want to start with clarity content. This was actually my favorite type of content to create. And I don't see a lot of business owners doing this. And that's why this could be the reason why you're getting a lot of, thank you so much for your help. This is so inspiring. Cute outfit. As opposed to, where's the link so I can buy from you? This type of content here helps your audience to make a buying decision. Why? Because this type of content is also known as mindset content. Mindset content. Some of you, you are accustomed. Hey, Dad, I see you switched over from Instagram to YouTube. Some of you, you are accustomed. Hey, Mr. 1920 Young, You're accustomed to creating educational content. You hear social media influencers and gurus, they're always telling you educational content, educational content, educational content. And so what do? You overdo it with the educational content. But your educational content happens to be the content that gets the least amount of views. It happens to be the content that gets the least amount of engagement, right? And I'll tell you why in a little bit, but I want to double down on this clarity content. When you're putting out mindset content, the goal is to help your audience make a buying decision. It's to get them to go from believing one thing to another thing. If you do not get your audience to believe that they want to buy from you, guess what? They're not going to buy from you. This is something that we learn when it comes to marketing and selling, that you got to train your audience to buy from you. So if they're not trained to buy, I'm sorry for you, but you're not going to have a loyal and buying audience. And you do that by putting out mindset content. So what does it do? This type of content, it helps your audience to overcome limiting beliefs. So some of your audience right now, they have certain beliefs about themselves, and that's why they're not buying. Do you think that you're the first coach that they've ever worked with? Probably not. Do you think that you're the first person to be selling an e-course to them? Absolutely not. They probably have been in different programs before, and they have been burned by the program, not because of the coach, but because of themselves. They were inconsistent. They didn't show up. They didn't do the work. And so now they're coming to you and they're thinking to themselves, it's probably going to be the same story. I probably still won't do the work. And so that's where your mindset content comes into play, because you help them to overcome the limiting beliefs. But guess what? It's important for you to identify what is the limiting belief that your audience is believing. And you only want to talk to specific types of limiting beliefs. I'm going to give you examples. When I first started creating content and I first started marketing to my audience, one of the limiting beliefs that my dream clients had was that they had a poverty mindset, right? They had a poverty mindset. Now, I had a poverty mindset. So I'm thinking, but I got out of it. So I'm thinking, oh, I can help other people break their poverty mindset too. But you know what was happening? People who had a poverty mindset, when I was helping them to get over that, guess what? They never had enough money to invest. Who's going through that right now? Where you're putting out content, you're asking for the sale, and people are telling you, I can't afford it. That's not in my budget. I can't buy from you right now. Let me think about it. That's a poverty mindset. And so if you keep talking to these people, what's going to happen is your sales are going to slow. It's going to slow. It's going to be hard to convert, because people with a poverty mindset believe, what if this is a scam? And if I release my money, what if I don't make it back? They are so fixated on what's in their hands, the money in their hands, as opposed to honoring a principle that says, if you sow, you will reap. If you sow, you will reap. How many of you are going through that? Every time you're selling your offer, you're getting people that's like, I can't afford. I don't have the money for that. I'm too broke for that. Mind you, I would get some people who are doing that and they make $30,000 a month. And that $30,000 a month, they're still telling me I can't afford that. That's a mindset, right? And so you could talk to them if you want to, but it's going to take a long time for you to help them overcome that belief, because they value money more than they value their transformation. That's the thing. They value money more than they value transformation. The transformation that some of you are helping your dream clients get is either for them to build more wealth, have healthier relationships, and live a better life. But for them, they don't see the value in that. They see the value in, I have to hold on to this money now, because if I release it, I may not get it back. And you don't want to talk to those people. It's going to be really hard to convert them. Another set of people that you don't want to talk to are procrastinators. Some of you are like, oh my goodness, that's me, right? Now, ouch, this may be offensive, but if you don't get offended easily, you will be blessed. I used to talk to procrastinators. Guess what happens when you try to sell to a procrastinator? Do you think they will buy, or do you think they will procrastinate? If you think they will procrastinate, drop procrastinate in the chat. When you are talking to a procrastinator and you ask for the sale, what do you think the procrastinator is going to do? Just go ahead and drop that in the chat. I'm gonna give you some time. Hey, Lolita. Lolita, how you doing? I haven't seen you in so long. Lolita said, unless the mindset is changed, they won't be able to see it. Oh, girl, that is definitely true. That is definitely true. And that's why we're putting out mindset content. You put out mindset content to get them to change their mind, right? Okay. Yvette says, yes, I had a young lady say, just as she says, she reveals so much to me. And yes, procrastination. Exactly. Yep, procrastinate. Yvette wrote it in the chat. When you sell to a procrastinator, they're not going to buy from you right away. They're going to procrastinate. Yes, Lolita says, I'm a recovering procrastinator. That part right there. They're going to procrastinate. Your goal on social media when you're doing digital marketing is to sell to ready to buy buyers. A procrastinator is not a ready to buy buyer. They're going to take a long time. I've had people tell me, yeah, I want to buy, but let me pray on this. Okay. I have a friend who used this exact term for people like that. They are procrastinators. There are some procrastinators and procrastinators. Those procrastinators are the people who are like, I gotta pray on this. I know, Quadra, I know. They're like, I gotta pray on this. That is just another excuse to procrastinate. That's it. It's another excuse to procrastinate. What are you praying on? Is it going to give you the solution to your problem or not? Make a decision. I want you to think about, who do I want to use? I want to use King David. Let's think about King David, right? And I'm not talking about King David when he had to battle Goliath. I'm talking about King David when he was on the run from Saul. He was on the run from Saul and he came against some Philistines. And these Philistines started saying to him, isn't that David? He killed Goliath. Wait a second, isn't that him? That's David. He killed Goliath. No, we know who that guy is. And guess what David did not do? David didn't go, let me pray to God for a solution. He didn't do that. He probably would have lost his life if he procrastinated. He didn't do that. Automatically, he went into pretending like he was mad to save his life. Some of you don't have enough determination or motivation to save your business. And so you're constantly procrastinating. I'm going to pray on this. And then you don't go back to it. Oh, trust me, I used to be a procrastinator too. I'm also a recovering procrastinator. I had to stop doing that. And I started recognizing, one, I'm intelligent. Two, God made me intelligent. Three, I can make intelligent decisions. So I no longer procrastinate. I go off of, did I ask God for the solution? Did he present the solution? Do I have a relationship with this person in order for me to invest in the solution? That's what I started doing. If I asked God to send me a coach and he sent me a coach, I can't be mad at the price tag. And that's what some of you were doing. You're like, Lord, please send me a marketing coach, and he'll send you a marketing coach, and then you mad at the price tag. That don't make no sense. Why does that not make sense? Because you're violating a principle. There's a principle that is found in 2 Corinthians 9, verse 6. It says, those who sow sparingly shall reap sparingly, and those who sow generously shall reap generously. Some of you are trying to invest $27 thinking you're about to reap a six-figure business. It don't work that way. You can invest $27. You may reap $2,700. And that's it. When I invested in my first coach, I invested $6,000 and then I reaped a six-figure business. That makes sense. When you understand the laws of sowing and reaping, you recognize you can't reap where you have not sown. So some of you are over here like, Lord, let me pray about this. And then you're procrastinating. And guess what? You're not getting the results that you desire. All right. I went through that entire spiel to tell you that that's the type of mindset you don't want to talk to because they're just going to procrastinate. I'm going to give you one more. Some of you are like, girl, if we shouldn't talk to these people, who should we talk to? I'm going to give it to you in a second. I'm going to give it to you in a second on the type of minds that you do want to talk to. So one more mindset. Okay. Lolita said, that is my terminology. Now, if I don't hear God saying no, then I make a decision. Me too, Lolita. I will ask God why, because the word says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, it says, Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. This part right here. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. All you got to do is acknowledge him. Lord, what you think? And if you don't answer, he's telling me, make the decision. So I love that you said that, right? Yvette says, amen. That's why I'm here. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. One more. Hey, Chinwei, how you doing, honey? I'm going to give you one more mindset you don't want to talk to. Hey, Jacqueline, one more mindset is overthinkers. Overthinkers. You talk to an overthinker and you ask for the sale. What do you think they're going to do? I want you to just write it in the chat. What do you think they're going to do? If you talk to an overthinker and you ask for the sale, what do you think they're going to do? Just write it in the chat. Write it in the chat. What do you think they're going to do? Thank you all for the hearts. Thank you for double tapping on the screen. Thank you for sharing this video out. Awesome. What do you think they're going to do? You talk to an overthinker. You ask for the sale. Yeah, they're going to overthink. They're going to overthink. They're not going to invest. They're going to overthink, and then they're going to get paralyzed by analysis. Paralysis analysis is what we call it. Those overthinkers, they want to see your testimonials. They want to see your results. They want to see, are you available at 3 o'clock in the morning? They want to see, are you going to show up tomorrow? They're going to overthink the entire situation and not invest. Yep, Lolita said it. Yvette said it. They're going to overthink. So why talk to them? An overthinker is not a ready-to-buy buyer. They're going to take forever. Those are the people on your email list that invest 2 years later. Not because you didn't have what they wanted, but because they were too busy overthinking. And guess what happens with an overthinker? They get stuck and they stay in the same position for 2 years until they finally realize, oh, in order for this to work, I actually got to work with someone, right? Now, overthinking, procrastination, perfectionism. I didn't say this one about perfectionism yet, right? Perfectionism is all rooted in the same thing. And that same thing is fear. There's a fear there. That's why they're overthinking. I have a fear of getting it wrong. So let me make sure I see all the possible solutions and situations before I invest. But the word says there's no way that you will be able to see all the outcomes. You are not God. The word says that God is the one who directs our steps. He says, my word is a lamp unto your feet. He's the one who's directing us. You're not going to see the full picture before you get started. Procrastinators, there's a fear there. Now, some people believe other things. It's not that there's a fear, they just don't want to do it. A lot of times there's a fear there. What if I get it wrong? What if I embarrass myself? What if people don't like me? There's a fear there. What is that fear? And last one, perfectionism. You can talk to perfectionists. They may buy. They just may take a little too long to get the work done, right? But perfectionists, there's a fear there. What if people don't see me to a certain standard? What if I don't meet the standard? There's a fear there, right? So I used to talk to all three of those people. I still talk to perfectionists. It's kind of okay. But procrastinators and overthinkers, I have weeded off of my list because they are not ready to buy buyers. So if you're in here and you're like, well, then who do we talk to? You can talk to people who have imposter syndrome. People who have imposter syndrome is often found in people who are high performers and high achievers. And they think that their gifts and their talents wasn't really given to them. And things are just happening because it's just happening. It may have been a fluke, right? If you help them to break that imposter syndrome, they will buy. The other thing is you wouldn't really be talking to their identity of imposter. You'd be talking to their identity of high achieving and being a high performer. High achievers and high performers, they vibrate at a different frequency. What do I mean by that? I mean that they have higher energy. Big money is attracted to big energy. So when you show up in a certain way and you attract high achievers and high performers, they're going to want to invest in you. They're going to want to invest in you. They don't overthink. They already know that when I invest, I get to reap. They already know that when I show up, I get to be a blessing. They already have this in their mind. What they're looking for is some help. How do I get there? That's it. How do I get there? See, people who are overthinkers and procrastinators, they vibrate at a low frequency. Money is energy. How many of you have heard that before? How many of you have heard that money is energy? and money is attracted to energy, right? So typically people who are procrastinators and people who are overthinkers, they don't make a lot of money anyway. I'm not saying all of them. I just said typically some of them are like that. They're not making a lot of money anyway, so you don't even want to attract them. But people who are high achievers and high performers, they're making a lot of money because they're the best at what they do. They just have a belief of like, is this me or am I really scamming people? And all you got to do is help them to overcome that imposter syndrome and they will invest, right? So here's what I do. When I am talking to my dream clients, the first thing I do is I identify what is the mindset that they have. Some of you, the only thing you ever did was identify their pain points. And so you're talking to their pain, which is okay, but you don't know the mindset that they have. So you don't know how to talk to their mind. That's what you want to do. You want to put out content that speaks to their mind. So I have identified for my dream clients 3 mindsets that they have. They have a fear of judgment. So these are high performers, high achievers, but they have a fear of being judged, right? They feel like they may be imposters, right? Like, oh, maybe my success, this just so happened to me. Maybe I don't really deserve to be here. And they have a fear of selling on camera. Those are the mindsets that I address for my people. Because when I address that mindset, guess what? They're like, I want to overcome this because there's something deeper inside of them. They want to be able to make an impact. They want to be able to make an impact. So what is the mindset of your dream clients? What mindset do they have? And if you recognize that they're depressed, they're procrastinators, they are overthinkers, you might want to shift your audience. You might want to shift your audience. Yes, Yvette and Lolita is like, yes, money is energy. Attract that money to you, honey. But in order for you to do that, you got to talk to other people who are vibrating at a high frequency, people who have high energy. And those are people with a certain type of mindset. Now, some of you, are you in here thinking to yourself, well, how do I know what mindset they have? If you're thinking that, just write it in the chat. How do I know what mindset they have? And I'll give you the answer. But if you don't write it in the chat, that means you're all good. And I don't have to give you the answer. But what I do want to do is I want to invite you to the challenge again. Why? Because some of you are like, this is the first time I ever heard this before. I always hear create educational content. I always hear talk to their pain points, right? But you never heard talk to their mind. Talk to their mind. Why is it important to talk to their mind? Because a confused mind never buys. You want to help them to get clarity and you want to help them to make a buying decision. So if you talk to the mindset that they have right now, you help them make a buying decision. All right. Yvette said, how do I know what mindset to talk to? The number one answer is just talk to your dream clients and they will tell you. That's the number one way you will find out. The only reason why I know my dream clients are struggling with these 3 mindsets is because I spoke to them. I had conversations with them. And I tell my clients, I give my clients 21 questions that they can ask their dream clients. And from the answers that their dream clients give them, guess what? They now know how to talk to their mind. It's as simple as that. So if you're in here, you're like, I need that. I want to know how I can do that. Then join us in a challenge. Click the second link in my bio, become a VIP experience member, because we help you to do that. Our goal is for you to be able to create deep connections with your audience. Because I know there's a lot of you in here where you want to create intimacy with them. You don't want to be that coach where you have thousands of people in your group and you don't know the people. I see you. That's why you're keeping your program small now. Right now, you're only trying to keep 5 people in the program. But there's a way for you to be able to create deep connections with your audience and still be able to grow, right? So if you're like, that's me, I want to know how to speak to the mindset of my clients, of my dream clients. I want to know how I can help them to make a buying decision. Then join us in the challenge. Click the second link in the bio and become a member of the VIP experience. All right. So I want to share with you types of clarity content to create, right? So types of clarity content, or AKA types of mindset content to create. Are you ready for this? Who's taking notes? If you're taking notes, this is where you want to write this down. So there are 4 types of content, types of mindset content you want to create. There's a lot more, of course, but I'm only going to share 4 right now because it's already 9:53 and I only gave y'all 1 tip. That 1 tip was full, wasn't it? If you feel blessed right now, drop a I'm blessed in the chat so I can know like that this is really benefiting you right now. Yes. Okay. Danielle says me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. All right. So let me give you the 4 types of mindset content that you want to create that helps your audience to make a buying decision. And number 1 is overcome objections. Overcome objections. There are objections in the mind of your audience. What do I mean by that? There's a reason why they don't want to buy right now. And oftentimes there are 2 main objections that people always have: money and time. Money and time. Those are the 2 main objections: money and time. So the question is, how do you overcome that with your content? If your audience is always telling you, well, I don't have time for this. I'll give you an example for me. My dream clients, they'll be like, I don't have time because I'm running my business and I got to work with my clients. So what do? I create content that shows them how they can create content with their busy schedule. I'm overcoming an objection. So you as a business owner, what content can you create that overcomes their objection so that when they're watching it, they're like, oh, wow, this person really does have the solution. Oh, thank you so much, Lolita. Thank you so much, Yvette. Right? So overcome the objection. If money is the objection, and money is almost always the objection, but here's the thing. I like to teach my clients how to speak to premium buyers. So premium buyers, their objection isn't that they don't have the money. They just want to make sure that that their investment is protected. That's it. They want to make sure that they're getting what it is that they are investing in. That's all they're looking for when it's a premium buyer, right? But if you are talking to someone who's not a premium buyer, they are budget conscious, especially for those of you who are finance coaches and you want to help everybody be on a budget. Honestly, I don't recommend speaking to people like that, but if you have the ministry and the calling for that, totally do it, right? You want to create content that actually overcomes the objection that they can't invest in your program, right? I'm going to show you how to create a 6-figure budget that allows you to pay for anything that you want. Overcome that objection. I know Yvette is in fitness, right? And so, Yvette, what is the number 1 objection that your dream clients gives you? And I'll give you an answer on how you can help them. Hey, Tamara, how you doing? Right? So I want to give a specific one for fitness or health. I should say health, wellness, or fitness, right? And Yvette, she's on YouTube right now. She actually helps her people with losing weight and keeping the weight off, right? So I want to be able to give you a video idea so you can overcome the objection for one of your dream clients. So while I wait for Yvette to write inside the chat what the objection is, I want to share the next mindset content you want to create, which is limiting beliefs, right? So we just talked about this. I said, don't talk to these people. You want to talk to these people. So if you know what the limiting belief is, create content for that. So oftentimes I'll be posting content that speaks directly to my dream clients who have a fear of judgment. They have a fear of judgment. So what do? The judgment is people leaving bad comments on their posts. So I'll create content that lets them know, here's what you can do when someone leaves a bad comment on your post. I'm helping them to overcome that, right? So, okay, Yvette just wrote, she said, okay, so the people you are talking to, they're telling you that they can't afford it. So 2 things, right? 1, you may want to change your audience, because if you're getting a whole lot of I can't afford it, that's a poverty mindset. So that's not even one of the people you want to talk to. Like people who are saying I can't afford it, it means that, oh, they're saying they can't afford to get in shape. All right, so that's another objection, right? 1, those are people with a poverty mindset, so you don't want to talk to those people. And 2, they actually don't desire to get in shape. That's the other big issue. If they're telling you I can't afford to get in shape, that means that's not their priority. Now you can create content to help it become their priority. But if you want to speak to ready to buy buyers, you want to talk to people who are already on the journey of losing weight, right? So these are the people where they're going to the gyms, they're investing in the gyms. Every year they invest in the gym membership and they go for like a month and then they fall off. And I don't know how much a gym membership is, Yvette, but you can actually tell them you're paying this much money for a gym membership and you're still keeping the weight on. It doesn't matter how many classes you go to. It doesn't matter how many Zumba classes you walk in on. Something inside of you just is not connecting. But you can actually just invest in this. We will identify what your DNA is and we'll show you what you can eat to help you lose that weight without having to invest in the gym again. Did I overcome that objection or did I overcome that objection? I know I did. I'm going to dance to that because I know that was a good one, right? So again, sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, they're telling me they can't afford it. They can't afford to get in shape. The real thing is those aren't your dream clients. You want to talk to people who are already on the journey. And those people who are already on the journey, they're already investing in gym memberships. They probably invested in so many different diets. So you want to shift your language to speak to that. And you overcome the objection by letting them know, if you have been investing in gyms and paying this much money, but you're still not going, let me help you. If you just invest this, you never have to invest in a gym again. Okay. Okay, Yvette, how about you shift, right? Because although DNA and genetic makeup is your thing, you want to talk about what people want, right? So Yvette wrote on YouTube, yes, I just dropped a reel about genetic makeup, right? That's what it is, right? However, her dream clients don't know anything about that. Yesterday we talked about, if you were on my live yesterday, we talked about giving people what they want. You want to sell the thing that they want. For you, Yvette, your people want to lose weight and they want to keep it off. So all of your content needs to be focused on, here's how you can lose weight and keep it off. And then you can go into, we look at your DNA, we do this, we do. You don't want to lead with the DNA because they don't know what that is. You want to lead with, here's how you can lose the weight and keep it off, because that's what they ultimately want, right? All right, so let me give you the next one, right? So you want to overcome objections. You want to overcome their limiting beliefs. Here's another one. You want to cast a new vision. Cast a new vision. What does this mean? Where does your dream client want to be? What is the ultimate desire that they have, right? And create content that helps them get there. Create content that helps them get there. So, and this will help them to make a buying decision. So I have a friend, her name is Kathy Heller, and she has a brand called Abundant Ever After. And if you ever see her on YouTube, you can watch some of her YouTube videos. She does this all day long, and sis is successful. She will put out YouTube videos where she's helping people to connect with self and to see themselves in the future. And I don't even want to say in the future because she doesn't use that language, but they see themselves where they want to be. That visualization exercise is very important. So they see themselves where they want to be. And then she shows them, here's how I can help you get there. Do you think that people are buying from her? Yeah, they are. I mean, I bought from her. I bought her book, right? And I'm like, when is your next retreat? I will be there. If you can help people see where they want to be and show them how you can help them get there, guess what? They're going to want to buy from you. They're going to want to buy for you. This is mindset content. Sometimes I get people who's like, I don't want to focus on mindset content. I'm going to tell you right now, the most successful coaches are focused on mindset content. And I think oftentimes when people hear mindset, you think brain. That's not what mindset is. Mindset is your soul, right? Your soul is your mind, your will, and emotions. It is the spiritual part of you. That's what mindset is. It's not just your brain. It is the spiritual part of you that has the emotional senses. And people are buying because of the emotional triggers that you are pulling, especially when it comes to high ticket. These are not logical decisions that they're making. It is an emotional decision that they're making. So if you can help them connect with self, they're going to want to buy from you. How many of you in here, you heard about Myron Golden? Any of you ever heard of Myron Golden? I'm raising my hand because I used to work with Myron, right? There we go. Yes, awesome. Hey, JL, how you doing? Haven't spoken to you in a while, right? How many of you ever heard of Myron Golden? Just drop a yes in the chat if you ever heard of him. Right? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yvette said, yes, they are buying, right? Dang. TikTok, y'all quiet. Y'all never heard of Myron Golden before? Well, now that I've said his name, he will start popping up on your TikToks and you'll be like, oh, wow, that's what YouTube was, that's what Star was talking about, right? Okay. So on YouTube, they have heard of Myron Golden. If you watch his content, the entire thing is on mindset. The entire thing. The entire time, what he's doing is helping you to get out of your own way to go after what you desire. He could teach all the skills in the world. And I see him teaching the skills part. But what stands out in his videos is the mindset. It's the mindset. Oh, Jill says, I saw Myron Golden speak at a funnel hacking live. He's fabulous. Exactly. And the majority of his thing was mindset. Does he teach skills? Sure. He'll show you like what you need to do. But for the majority of what he talks about is mindset. And he's not the only one. You name them. Name the top gurus out there. Name the top speakers out there. Their number one thing that they focus on is mindset, because they know that you will not do anything that your mind doesn't believe. You won't. And so while you're focusing on educational content, they are focused on mindset content, mindset content, mindset content. Are they calling it that? No, they're not calling it that. But they're focused on you becoming a better you. Because self-help sells every day. Every day. Hey, Dr. Shauna, how you doing? Right? Okay, last one. So we have I'm giving you types of clarity content or mindset content to create, overcome objections, limiting beliefs, cast a new vision, and last one is psychology of. If you can teach people the psychology of marketing, the psychology of dieting, the psychology of dating, the psychology of anything, the psychology of sales, the psychology of customer buying, if you could teach the psychology of anything, people love that stuff. They love that stuff because they start to realize it's not just me showing up and doing any old thing. It's actually, there's a psychology behind this. There's a thought process behind this. So if you can show up creating content like that, people will love it. I used to do the psychology of video marketing, or like the psychology of your videos, and people would just eat it up. Like, oh, never thought about that. Like the colors in your videos, the lighting in your videos, the location of your videos. And as I started to break it down, people were like, wow, I did not know that. Right. And they started showing up differently. Right. So if you could teach the psychology of anything, people would love that. All right, how many of you in here, you're being blessed by this? You're like, I didn't know to create mindset content. This is different for me. You're accustomed to doing teachings, tips, tutorials, and tricks, but you have not shifted into mindset content. You want to know how you can shift into creating mindset content, right? Because even though I talked about it and it sounded very good, you're still wondering, but how do I do this for my dream client? Let us show you how to do it in the challenge. In the challenge, we walk through who your dream client is and how you can speak their language. They won't come and they won't buy unless you speak their language, right? And then we show you how you can create content that speaks to their mind, to speak to their soul, so they can make the decision that they want to. Now, here's the thing. This is not a manipulating thing. The only thing you're doing is you're helping them make a decision that they want to make. Every coach I invested in, it was because I wanted to make that decision. Some of you are afraid to sell because you think it's manipulative. You think, oh, I'm taking money from people. But no, they want to invest. There's a lot of people, including me, where I like buying stuff. I like buying stuff that gives me a return, but I like buying stuff. And if you talk to the people who like to buy and you show them that they want to buy from you because they're already praying about it. They are on their knees. Lord, send me a relationship coach that can help me get better at what I do so I can actually get married. They're praying, Lord, I've been trying to lose weight for many years and nothing is working. I did keto, I did gluten-free. Nothing is working. They're praying, Lord, I want to know how to build wealth. I'm getting closer to retirement age and my 401k is not doing it for me. That's what they're praying. And God's like, I'm going to send you. I'm going to send Kwanda. I'm going to send Danielle. I'm going to send Dr. Shauna. I'm going to send Yvette. I'm going to send Lolita. I'm going to send Tamara. That's what God is saying. I'm going to send JL. The only thing is, when he's sending you, the people got to be able to see you, find you, and they have to feel seen and heard by you in order to buy. So if you're in here and you're like, I need that. I want that. I want to know how to speak to my dream clients in a way, not only that they would buy, but they would be transformed. Then go ahead and click the second link in my bio and join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. Or you can feel free to DM me the word challenge accepted, and I will send you a personal invite. Yeah. All right. Who learned something today? Just drop a me in the chat if you're like, yup, I needed that. I learned that. Awesome. Yvette said, I didn't know. And thank you so much for your expertise, Star. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. All right. So we're talking about 31 content ideas for the month of May. And what I shared with you, I only got to my first tip, which was clarity content. So honestly, for the month of May, it looks like we're in mindset. What I shared with you was how you can speak to the mind of your dream clients, and then 4 types of content you can create so that you can speak to them. If you take those 4 types of content and you drop it in ChatGPT, guess what's going to happen? It's going to give you 31 content ideas. And now, not only are you showing up and adding value, but you're also going to be able to convert. This was the missing piece to your content. Hey, Dr. Shauna. Dr. Shauna says, Star is awesome and always dropping gems. Yes, thank you. Dr. Shauna joined us last April for the VIP experience, right? So if you're in here and you're like, I want to know how I can do more of this, it's not just about creating content, right? Because that's where some of you, you're like, I'm creating the content, I'm putting out the videos. It's not just about creating the content. It's also having a system for conversion. So if you're like, okay, I got the content on lock, but I need a system for conversion, join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge so that we can be able to help you. And I want to tell you who the challenge is for. The challenge is for the coach where you're already at 6 figures. You already have an audience, whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, but you don't know what to say in your videos to convert your followers into customers. We want to show you how you can do that in the challenge so that now when you're putting out your content, when you're going live, you're actually converting from your efforts. The challenge is also for the coach where you're stuck between 8 to 10K months. You're perfectly fine selling one-to-one. You're perfectly fine selling when someone refers you. But when it comes to you selling on video, that's not translating well. You're great at teaching in your masterminds. You're great at teaching in your circles, your inner circles. But when it comes to teaching online, you don't know how to get your expertise out of your head and into the video. We want to show you how you can do that in the challenge. And the challenge is also for the coach where you're successful, is for the business owner, you're already successful. Sales is not an issue for you. No. Your issue is visibility. You're already getting the sales. Your business is already at a certain level. Your issue is you now want your influence to match your income. You want your following on social media to match the amount of dollars that you have in the bank account. Because you know if you can reach more people, that's a bigger impact. Well, we want to show you how you can do that by showing up authentically with your own personality, drawing your people to you. That's what we want to do. And no, you don't have to hop on trends. You don't have to point and dance, and you definitely don't have to lip sync your way to virality. Our goal is to help you show up as you, because the people who desire what you have, they're attached to your voice. They're attached to you. They just have to find you. Right? So on day 1 of the challenge, we show you how to position your brand just like Jesus did. Jesus didn't go door to door. He went town to town and he positioned himself. And when he spoke, he drew the people to him. We want to show you how you can do the same thing. Day 2, we show you how to package your message in your videos, how to tell stories that get people to buy from you, but not just buy from you, to how you tell stories to make them feel like they're your best friend, that they know you and they want to buy from you. That's what Jesus did. He told his stories, and whenever he told his stories, people converted. Day 3, we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy so that each time you post, you have a system working on your behalf. Some of you only get your sales when someone refers someone, when there's word of mouth. But how about getting sales when you're sitting on the beach because your content's working on your behalf? How about getting invited to podcasts because your content is working on your behalf without you having to actually reach out to people for it? That's what the 6-figure content strategy does for you. Day 4, we show you how to present your offer in your videos, how to ask for the sale without feeling icky or sounding salesy. Instead, you show up confidently and be able to bless your people. And then day 5, how to profit from your videos, how to have a predictable, scalable pipeline for sales. That's what day 5 is all about. Instead of you posting and wishing to go viral, you are posting and you are profiting from those posts. So if you're in here and you're like, that's what I want, we have 2 levels. We have the VIP experience and the diamond experience. At the VIP experience, you get to join us in the challenge. You get to ask your questions. You get real life answers. Why is this important? Because there's some of you where you've only been purchasing e-courses, e-books, and e-guides, and you have no one to ask your questions to. You have no one to help you with implementing. Information is fine, but implementation is where you're stuck. And because of that, you're not seeing the transformation. In the challenge, we're with you each step of the way, 5 days. At the VIP level, we also audit your videos for you. So the content that you're putting out, some of you don't even know why it's not performing. Some of you don't even know why it's not working. Each day of the challenge, we audit the videos for you. And now, not only are we auditing it, but you're now learning, oh, this is what's working. This is what's not working. And you know how to pivot. At the Diamond Experience, you get all of that and more. At the Diamond Experience, you also get access to a one-on-one elite marketing strategy session with me. So some of you in here, you're like, I've gone to ChatGPT several times to identify my dream client, and it's not working because no matter what I'm saying in my videos, it's not converting. Well, in that one session, just takes 30 minutes. We identify who the dream client is, and I show you the content to create specifically for them. When Marianne took that session, Marianne is our client who got 60,000 leads from one viral video. It only took 30 minutes for us to identify who she's talking to and what content to create and what to say in her videos to get people to buy. Sis went viral and got 60,000 leads. When Mary did the session, she had a 30-minute session with us. Her entire business transformed. The way she was showing up online, she recognized, I don't need to show up online like that anymore. I am actually helping families live a better life. Her entire business transformed in 30 minutes. So at the Diamond Experience, if you want to get access to that, just click the first link in my bio, choose Diamond Experience. And once you make your purchase, I will automatically send you a link for us to hop on a call. And we can get on that call as early as tomorrow. It's only up to you though. If you're a procrastinator or a procrastinator, I am not your coach, and that is okay. But if you're a high performer, a high achiever, you're ambitious, and you want to get to the next level in your business, and you know social media is the way, go ahead and join us in the Diamond Experience. Book your call with me so that we can get together. All right. So I'm actually not going live next week. Next week, I'm going to be in Costa Rica. I'm going to be at the Untamed Experience Retreat. I'm going to be teaching business owners, women, female business owners, how to hear God speak clearly plus confidently for their business. And I'm going to be teaching them how they can make their messaging magnetic so that they can be able to convert at a higher level. That's what I'm going to be teaching next week in Costa Rica at the Untamed Experience Retreat. So I will be back with live videos the second week of May. So I will see you then. You all have a great day.